Now, we are now studying the third episode of our video clip on psychology in education. We are talking about the new context of how we use psychology. We call new normal psychology. We talk about the concept of new normal psychology and types of new normal psychology. When we talk about new normal psychology, we tend to look for something different. As I mentioned earlier, there is no need at all to force our students to come and listen to the teacher all the time in the classroom, on the four-wall classroom. Actually, the study should take place everywhere at any time. You can see that the term ubiquitous means everywhere at any time should be the new platform for education. Especially now, by the time of recording this video clip, we are under the so-called COVID-19 situation, which we are not allowed to stay together, close together. We have to have the so-called social distancing, at least 1 meter or 2 meters away from each other. And then we have to put the mask on our face. And online start to be the method of learning, similar to what we are doing now. See? So, new normal psychology gives emphasis on student-centered process. Okay. Not to move in the classroom, but move out reaching to the source of knowledge. Not to come and listen to what the teacher or instructor has to say. Okay. But you have to look it for yourself. And in the future, the so-called OPE model, OPE model of education, on-palm education model. This is very important for you. Actually, it's the fifth factor of life. We cannot live without it, you see. You want to know anything, you go on Google or Baidu or whatever the program you have and put the keyword and you get the knowledge. But the knowledge you look from here is not the final one. You need to have reflection of your own to interpret and make use of the most relevant information you get from OPE model or from your tablet or mobile phone. Okay. The first type of new normal psychology context in teaching and learning is so-called experientialism. Experientialism maintains that holistic views of learning process, give emphasis to the holistic view of learning process, comprises Gestalt theory or field theories. We have talked about that before. Transformation theory and illuminating theory. Field theories or Gestalt theories maintains that learning takes place when the learner needs to learn, important needs to learn. When he faces a problem and needs to solve for his survival through learning by doing and adjust himself to the appropriate environment. Okay. It's just skill theories. That means that you don't teach the student if they don't need to learn. But if you think it's important for them to learn, you need to give them some motivation. We call in Thai นำเข้าสู่บทเรียน English lesson induction or introduction to lesson is the purpose is to tell them that you need to study this, you need to learn this, not just come into the classroom, oh kids, turn to page this and that and read this and that. They will feel very bored, and they will feel learning is boring, you see. After a series of experience coping through learning by doing in an appropriate environment, learning shall take place. Okay, let me give emphasis to the so-called experience coping. Coping means to face, to counter, to encounter. You need to let them do first. In Thailand, we have the old word, or instruct and teach. Meaning you tell the student to do something first and let them finish it and come back, and you give them the comments. That means you teach. See, but most Thai teachers, I don't know in China or in elsewhere, most Thai teachers try to teach first and then instruct. Teach and then let them do homework. Actually, it should not be homework at all. It should be class work. Most of the teachers giving the students exercise at the end of each chapter to do the homework. Actually, they should stop talking. After talking about 20 minutes, let them do exercise at the end of the chapter. Okay, not to give homework. I am very much opposite to homework more than 50 years ago when I was teaching at Chulalongkorn University. I don't think it's a good idea. But when they come back home, they should be able to watch television with their parents. But no, nowadays, no, you don't watch TV, you go to do your homework. And then, when will be the time for the parent to teach the kids? Except sometimes you eat dinner or breakfast together, but usually nowadays, because of parents working, students come back home late, they have very few chance to eat, to dine, or to have breakfast together. See. Experience coping is the new term that I would like you to keep in your mind. Let them go to encounter experience by themselves. Field or Gestalt theorists advocates the learning process through facilitating the learners to do something and carry on the task by himself. Okay. Why constructivism belong to this school of education psychology also construct something. We study about that in the last script. The second new normal context of psychology is so-called transformative learning theories. Transform. What does it mean by transform? Transform, you see the Transformer, the movies, right? A car, so it's changed into a very big robot. Transform, it means change continuously. Okay. This theory was introduced in 1978 by Professor Jack Mercier. Professor Jack Mercer is in the field of non-formal education at Columbia University in the U.S. Okay, in the past, I would say in the past 50 or 60 years, we Thai people are so much influenced by American ways. So if I have to select which country I want to go, I would say the U.S. You see, that's in the past 60 years. And most Thai educators with doctor's degree are American educated like myself. Okay, so what we learn in our school are the product, the knowledge or experience of America, of the United States. So I wonder why. How about China? We have great philosophers, great educators and scientists from China. How about Japan? We have so many great Japanese educators, Korean, English professors, German professors. Why? Why only American educators that we should follow? See, my idea is that we should be neutral and get the best out from everywhere at all. Okay, here we get this idea from Professor John Mercer from Columbia University, who gave emphasis on the so-called formative education or learning in 1978. Maintains that learning takes place from three common elements. Centrality of experience, meaning that experience must come first. Okay, must be the central point of learning. Critical reflection, that means you have to think and then not just to believe right away. You have to say yes or no, why, and this and that. Critical reflection. And then third, rational discourse. The word discourse does mean discussion. Discourse is mean saying something out from your experience. After you have read a few ideas about this and that, you say it on your own word. Discourse, taking out. And then after you say it out, what you have learned, what you know, you allow people to give comments, give critiques to what you tell them. Okay. Transformative learning believes that good learning and teaching paradigm must based on the recognition that the learner's previous experiences are ladder step for transforming and accumulating to higher learning experiences. Whether the experiences are old or new, they should be encouraged to transform, accumulate to high learning experiences towards the so-called deep learning. Deep learning. At Bangkok Thonburi University here, I introduced the PhD program, research-based program called Deep Program. Degree for excellence by experience path. So, no, you don't have to come to the class. You study by yourself, but you have to conduct a research for 48 credits. Okay, research at least, and submit to us. So deep degree is a doctoral degree at Bangkok Thonburi University based on experience, not teaching and learning. You have to do it yourself. So deep learning is also the key concept of transformative learning. What does it mean by deep learning? Deep learning is obtained from the integrating old experiences with new ones to help the learner interpret goals, beliefs, decision-making, and be sensitive to other people's feeling to achieve an autonomous thinking. Now, the new term again, autonomous thinking. Now, you just have deep learning, and now you have autonomous thinking. Okay. What does it mean then, autonomous thinking? Autonomous thinking brings forth creativity, auditing, checking, right or wrong, and adjusting new learning experiences to construe meaningful experience to his or her own life. Okay. Now the new term, construe. Okay. What does it mean by construing? Construing meaning of experience is the experience coping process that uses learners' previous experiences as the base for perceiving new experiences, blended in harmony to achieve a good proportion of knowledge and experience appropriate and meaningful to the learner. Okay. Construing. Make previous experience as the base for perceiving new experience and make your learning meaningful. Okay. Now the third learning psychology is called Illuminating Theories. Illuminate, the word, it means make it bright. Illuminate. The room is dark. It's suddenly illuminate. That means you can see things, the light coming in. In Thai, we call สว่าง From what? Usually before สว่าง, we have แสงสว่าง. แสง, that means the ray of light coming in. And the rays of light make the room bright, and you can see things because สว่าง illuminate, you see. So the term illuminating in Pali, our Thai's own language, Pali, is ปัญญา, you see. ปัญญา. ปัญญา means bright, means illuminate. It comes from the word punya, is the power, the energy, punya. And when you cut the sound, it will become panya. Okay. So illuminating science theories we call in Thai panya tasana science, the science of creating illumination for yourself to see things clearly as it is, without being illusion or anything. Okay. So illuminating theories in old school of educational psychology trace back to more than 2,500 years ago, based on the Buddhist principle of enlightenment theories, contemplating theory, and ubiquitous theory. So illuminating theories comprise three things that you keep in your mind. First, enlightenment theories, knowing without learning. Okay. Contemplating theory, learning from what's inside you. And ubiquitous theory, learning everywhere at any time. Now let's have a look at the first one. Enlightenment theories maintains that knowledge and experience has long been existing within the universe, within the universes and multiverses. Universes, you how many? แสนโกฏโลกธาตุอินทาย แสนโกฏ 100,000 universes. 100,000 universes. That means 100,000 maybe 1 million universes and multiverses. And in the outer space of the sphere surrounding millions of universes and multiverses, similar to the big ball. Okay. The whole thing is that we are now living in the very big bowl of water. In the big bowl there are, if you see, because they are far away, you see just like a star, but actually they are universe comprising 100,000 stars and planets. So we call throwing around in this bowl, big bowl, in the water of endless traveling. So the Savior, Buddha, came in and tell us, you see, because we are in the big bowl, we are now inside here. Okay. There are three spheres here, and actually there's something very deep down here. The cone, deep down. Buddha said, "Come up. Don't just staying down in the water around here. Come with me. Come to stay with me here. Up here, surrounding this bowl, you will be permanent, eternal. You will be the most happiest. No body, no mind, but only yourself, your soul, atta, surrounding here." Okay. And then Buddha spent his learning for 40 asongkhai before being told that he will become Buddha, and during his practicing time, at least for asongkhai, he will get access to the main frame of the universe, know all, seeing all, everything, you see. Enlightenment theories is the theory that you know, you get the access of knowledge through yourself or your soul, using the mind and body as the tools to achieve the state of seeing all and knowing all, the ultimate truth, without getting deceived by illusions or ignorance through the process of practices until you could open the third eyes to access and retrieve the knowledge and information without schooling. That means you know without being told. This kind of enlightenment theory. Okay. For example, when you sit on the aeroplane, you heard your captain speaking. "Good afternoon, passengers. I'm captain speaking. We are now flying at the altitude of." I can tell there's something pop up in my mind. It's 28,359 feet above the ground level. And then followed by the voice of the captain saying the same thing as what I know. That's called enlightenment. But that's partial, not the total. Only one person could get total enlightenment. That's God Buddha. Don't call him Lord Buddha. He is not ordinary human being. He was maybe before enlightenment. But after he got enlightenment, he was ubiquitous, existing everywhere at any time. So we call him God Buddha. While the British, such as Cunningham, trying to say Buddha was just a historical figure of India. Buddha was when he was young before enlightenment, but after then he was supreme God. The word Godama might come up something. Okay. By the third eye, a person gets the light to shine through the universes and multiverses to attain self-learning without being taught by anyone or without coping physical and materialist experiences. Okay, what third eyes? What are the first eye and second eyes? First eyes are this. You have two first eyes. Second eye is the eye of the mind. But third eye is the eye of the self, of the soul. There are third eyes. Not that first, second, and third, no. But after you practice meditation under some school, you get to see, you get to know, you get to be awakened by some means, because you get the power called punya, holy power. Okay. One must practice through a series of courses, through reincarnation for millions of births, until you get a password for the login to the mainframe computers of the universe and multiverses. That's why our Buddha, actually all of us can become a Buddha sometime in the future. Then we'll get the access, the password to log on to the mainframe of the universe. The idea is that if you want to have knowledge of a cow, you have to raise a cow or observe its behavior closely at every minute. Okay. Bodhisattva, in Thai, Bodhisattva, is the one wishing to be a Buddha, wishing to be Buddha in the future, must reincarnate to be animals throughout the courses of his practical work to become an enlightened Buddha. Our Buddha, Gautama Buddha, our mean Thai Buddha, Gautama Buddha, but Mahayana may have different Buddha, Amita Buddha, Ananda Buddha, because they are endless Buddha. But our Buddha, Gautama, God, Gautama Buddha, was reincarnated 543 lives before he got enlightenment. 443 lives after being forecast that he would become Buddha. Okay. Gautama Buddha, with his 543 lives, living as various living things, for example, being a king for 90 lives, a bird, being many birds, elephants. Each of his words is called Chataka or Chadok. See, Chata means born, bird, Chataka, those who are born. We have talked about two of the illuminating science theories. First, enlightenment theories. Now, the second one is contemplative theory. Now, the second one is contemplative theory. Contemplative theory, believing in learning melted within learners' experiences through awareness, enlightenment, which partial or or total enlightenment. Knowledge and understanding of the learner himself and others. The process of mind, such as meditation, the mind and professional blending process, such as Ikebana, Japanese, or Chinese, brushstroke yoga, Chinese Tai Chi Chuan, you can read, you can pronounce it better than I. Qi Gong. All of this I learned that when you practice, we call Chinese boxing or some moving like this are actually downloaded. But not everyone can download the rhythms, the action of this pseudo-real leader. I learned this by myself when I stand in front of the sun. You can do it also in the morning. You respect the sun as a God, Sun. Give me your power so that I can live healthy, happily, so on and so forth. And suddenly my hand moves up. This is just acting. And then it ends up like this. You can see this kind of thing where in Egypt. So they call Ra is the is the god of the sun, something like that. Okay. Under contemplative theory, okay, when Western psychologists tend to understand that mind and the brain are the same thing, but in Buddhism, a living entity consists of three elements: self or soul, mind, and body. Okay, this is atta, self or soul, which is the true you, it's true me. And when I get enlightenment, when I become up to 100%, as in the movie I mentioned to you, I will go up. I will go up and live around here, not in here. But I can come down here to help my people.